Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious, especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling.
Do you want the perfect look for all of summer's moments? At Sunglass Hut, you can find every shade of you with their curated summer product selection.
Their vast selection that includes a wide range of styles from the biggest brands like Prada, Dolce & Gabbana, Versace, Burberry, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Plus, 12 shades only available at Sunglass Hut.
With personalized services both online and in-store, expert sales associates will help you find the perfect pair for yourself or a great gift for anyone on your list.
I was just shopping there the other day, and it's actually really cool. It's so modern. The people who work there really help you find the right size for your face.
So go and discover the special selection online at sunglasshut.com or in store. Your summer look is waiting for you.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me today is the wonderful and hilarious Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going? Get your booty on over here.
How are you?
Doing well. Look at you. Hey, are you surfing right now? Because you look like you were hanging 10 on that wave.
Riding the wave, bro.
Whoa. Ooh, it's Sandoval wave. So guess what? It's another day, another video here at Watch What Crappens. If you want to watch us, if you want to see Ronnie's very cool wave that he's surfing on, go to Crappens On Demand. Go support us on Crappens On Demand. Go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens and you get early access to this video as soon as it's published, and you'll have it for a week, and then it goes on to YouTube where the rest of the world can see Ronnie's wave. So if you don't want to wait a week for YouTube, go to Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. You also get access to bonus episodes. And what's really fun about bonus episodes is that they're really fun. And this week's bonus episode, we are going back to one of our favorite things, which is shopping for Amazon Prime Day. We are feeding the beast. Yes, we understand this, but it's really fun. So right after we are done with this recap, we are going to go onto Amazon, and we're going to try to find good deals, and we're going to see what we can buy, and we're going to record while we do it. We've done it before in the past. It's so fun. So come join us for that. And that's all the news that's fit to print. Let's dive into the final episode of Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
Below Deck Sailing Yacht, everybody.
What a season. What a wacky
it's
season.
Gonna be interesting. Do you think they're going to come back with the same cast? I mean, this one is the only one to really have the same captain, chief stew, and chief deck guy, and engineer. Like, they all return. This is the only one with this many returning people, I think, right? Well, I
They've
guess
got
some
to.
of them.
They've got to come
Yeah.
back especially because, right, isn't the rumor that there's been a massive falling out with Colin, that Daisy and Gary aren't talking to Colin or something like that?
Yeah, but what is it? Because Daisy had hinted, and by the way, this is me just scrolling through Instagram a long time ago, that I thought I saw something where she said something along the lines of, oh, yeah, Colin looks like he's so nice now. Well, just you wait. Just you wait to see what he does. But nothing. He never did anything. I mean, I came all the way to this episode. I was like, now is where Colin's going to fuck up. And they even make it look in the previews like Colin says, we don't have anything going on.
Right.
Or he said, they made it seem like he was saying at the very last minute, pulling a Bachelor thing and being like, I just met your parents, went to your hometown. You're ugly. I don't want to date you anymore. And I was like, how dare you, sir? But it didn't happen. So I don't know.
Yeah. So my suspicion is the following. I think that Colin, when you date him, I feel like he gets mopey and he gets passive aggressive. That is my suspicion. I love Colin.
Suspicion, we see proof of it in this show. That's all he fucking does is mope around and guilt trip you about every goddamn thing that happens.
So, like, I really do love Colin, but I can see that in a relationship, I guarantee, like, if Daisy doesn't call, I see him being like Storm from Below Deck Med last season, where he gets moody and then he's like, well, you didn't call, makes me wonder if we're in a real relationship. I guess I just wanted something bigger.
Who?
And
Storm? Who the fuck is Storm?
remember Storm?
No.
You know what?
What's
It's honestly not worth. Storm was the one with the mustache who was like, my mom was a drug addict, so I had to drive myself to school when I was 6 years old.
Oh, right. Yes. And he was dating that girl. He was like, shut up. I'm so sick of you crying all the time. What's supposed to do with that?
I don't remember the girl he was. I remember he was dating a girl, but I don't remember who it was.
He was
at all.
dating. Oh, she was amazing. Was it Natasha? Was that Natasha? That
Oh,
wasn't even
Natasha,
that long ago.
Natalia.
Remember, she would get all upset with him. There was like Natasha,
Work ethic.
Natalia, and she would be like, "What the heck? What's going on? You know what? For a chief to do, you need to really work on your work ethic, right?"
Your work ethic is not where it really should be. Okay,
And
there's
what-
been a stain on the floor, and you didn't do that, Kyle.
And it's hard for me to like really trust guys because the last guy I was with, we went out on Valentine's Day and he dumped me on
At the
Valentine's
table,
Day.
he just
At
walked
the
away from the table and went back to his old girlfriend. I loved her. Oh my god, I loved her.
Me too. Wow, it's funny how much we can forget. That was like a week
year
ago. Was it that long ago?
I think it was last summer.
No.
Yeah, because it was like last summer, and then we had regular Below Deck, which was also really good. We had that ding dong Courtney. Was her name Courtney? The one Camille.
Don't do this to me. I just remembered two people. Do you know how hard that was for me? I feel like I was in Awakenings. I just came to life. I remembered a couple of people, and now you're just pushing it. And guess what? I'm back staring out a window with drool coming down my chest.
What a terrible way to have an awakening. Like, imagine if you're like you're awake for, however long you're awake in that movie. What was like a week or something, and the first thing when you wake up out of your coma, hey, remember Natalia from Below Deck Med?
No. You just start remembering past maids.
Remember Camille?
That's your only awakening.
Spoiler.
Sad.
So anyway, Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I felt like there was some slow episodes in the middle of the season, but it really picked up towards the end, and I was like, whoa, this is a crazy yacht, okay? And I really can't believe it. I think they're all going to come back. I think that there's unfinished business, and this is one of the few times I'm actually really hoping that there's a reunion, because I would love to see Gary answer some questions.
You're changing. You're acting like so differently lately. You're saying
Sorry.
a lot of things that are just not you. I don't even know. Are you even really you? I feel like you're a pod person. You do not like Below Deck reunions?
No,
You
I don't
hate
want to
them.
recap it. I don't want to recap it, but Below Deck Sailing Yacht reunions have been a little bit better than the typical ones. Remember the one where sorry, I'm going to do this to you again. Remember, was it John whatever his name, JB, who impregnated Danny but then didn't want to
Oh yeah.
admit that he had.
The big tall guy. Tall privilege.
That was a good one too.
Okay, so let's
Fine.
go.
I just want Gary to answer to
You're
someone
like Chris
or
Farley.
something.
You're
okay?
like Chris Farley. Remember that time?
Remember that time?
movie you were in? Remember Mission
That was a
Impossible?
good
Tom
one.
Cruise? That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. No, but for real, Gary needs to answer to someone somewhere. Okay, I just
Gary
need to.
doesn't. He won't answer to anybody ever. He's always the victim. He's just a typical narcissist. It's always someone else's fault. He's always the victim. Sure, he could have done better, but I really only do that because I need love. He's the worst. He will never answer honestly to anybody.
Yeah, true. So
And that's
on
okay.
that note,
like I said on the other episode this week, that's okay when you're hot. People will accept that from you when you're hot, but you are on the verge of being spoiled milk, sir, and it's time to change your attitude. Okay? Nobody wants to argue. Nobody wants to hear a non-apology from yogurt.
yes.
Okay.
Hey, Ronnie, I have a question that has nothing to do with this. Does your
Okay.
chair have a low back? Because I just realized my chair is all up on this video, and yours is not present at all.
I got a lower back because I didn't like seeing the back of my chair. And also, look, even when I move, you know why? Because
Is it
it's
green?
green and I've got a green screen on.
Is it like a
What
chair
about
for
that?
green screens?
No, I just like the color green. It's my favorite color. And so I got a green chair for my office.
Wow.
And it just happened to work out. We started doing videos. What about that? Now I'm just floating on a surf. I'm just floating on the surf, guys.
You're
Floating
just on a
wave.
surf. You're just on a surf. Okay, so let's dig in. So the big cliffhanger that really was not a cliffhanger at all was Daisy saying that she's not sure she can be friends with Gary anymore based on his behavior, based on his undermining ways, which is a conclusion she should have come to about 2 years ago, by the way. And she says, "This was me trying to be a friend, and it's like you're the person I want to be with, Colin, and Gary's full of shit anyway."
And then Colin's like, well, I think with Gary, it's all about competition and ego, which I think you're correct. I think you're correct on that. Still not completely sold on you because it's not like you haven't seen the show before and didn't know that Gary and Daisy had a thing. So I'm confused about why you're confused still, but whatever. I'll let it pass because it's the season finale.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you got to be careful with people like that. You know what I mean? And Daisy goes, oh, I agree. So Colin says, well, thanks for explaining that. Because she was clarifying this thing. Like Gary made it seem like Daisy was obsessed with finding out if Gary was into Mads or not. And she was just like, no, I just asked him a question. So Daisy tells us, I'm starting to realize that I need to put some distance between mine and Gary's relationship in order to have some control over Colin and my relationship. You're starting to realize now? Weeks after he has fully undermined you on this show, now is when you realize?
So she's like, all right, I'm going to get changed for this anything but clothes party. It's like, oh, God, of course it's these people who have the anything but clothes party. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything but you. Can we just have an anything but you guest party? You are the worst. And on a season where the boat is about to explode or sink, finally, I'm rooting for it to do so. Okay? You're all horrible people. I would love to watch you Titanic it right now. I'm literally rooting for an iceberg in the summer in Italy.
They call that Italian ice. So, by the way, my background is a webcam of Sardinia, everyone. So if you see the Parsival in the background, it's real.
Is that actually happening right now? Is it like a live
it's
feed?
literally the most boring beach in all of Sardinia. It's just like not even cars are pulling up. So I'm sorry, everyone. We're just talking incessantly about our backgrounds, and by we I mean me. So now Daisy goes up, and Daisy asks the deckhands, if there's anyone who's available, can someone help me with service tonight? And Garrett's like, oh, well, I forgot that someone died and made you queen. But he sees that Daisy's mad at him, so he just hides behind a sheet pan. He's like, oh, sorry.
He's
I'm
trying
just
to be
a
flirty.
nice little boy. Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Who died and made you queen? And she's like, you should stop being nasty to me. Carmel's going to come and bat you in the ass, Gara.
So then, everyone's getting dressed into their anything but clothes party. Deborah is she's helping blow up a tube around one of the gays. There's one gay who is an unassociated gay. Did you notice that? He's David. Poor David. I feel bad for David. David's just watching this all and being like, why did I agree to come on this boat?
Yeah, we don't really see a lot of David, but David's over it, and he hates everybody. He's like, I hate
everyone.
you all. I hate you all, and I have frosted tips, so I can say it. I'm still holding on to frosted tips, so fuck all you guys. So he's blowing up her unicorn floaty.
Other way around.
She's blowing it up, but he's still wearing it, so it looks like she's blowing him. And he just looks into the camera, because the camera's loving it, and he just looks into the camera like, what? Deborah, the mom, who was making fun of the limping person in the street the other day, who's possibly overweight and clothed in very tight things, now looks like she's blowing you. And that's Deborah's karma. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say something to Deborah personally. Fuck you, Deborah, still. From yesterday. Fuck you still.
So Lucy is meanwhile wearing garbage bags as her anything but clothes party, and she's like, "My ass is fucking sweaty right now in these bin bags. I would not go to an A B C D E F G party again. Like, who doesn't want to wear clothes? Whores!" I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I just wasn't expecting her to like punctuate that with whores.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that from Lucy either. But there she went, just horse shaming people, which I don't really like. Listen, we all have our part in this economy, ma'am. Also, you're about to be an ex-Below Deck member. Maybe you should, like, I don't know, not be so judgy. You know what
should see the trajectory of some of your fellow Below Deck alums.
Yeah, you should check out the OnlyFans cameos. So Grant's like, honey, check the necklace hanging on my honey, check the necklace hanging off of my butt. Could you pull it up? Because I have to sit down now. This guy even wears statement necklaces on his ass.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how much he loves a statement necklace.
So I'm just going to say this. I think, like, no judgment on an anything but clothes party. It's not something I would want to do, but it's like, but maybe consider doing it after dinner. Not like during dinner, because everyone looks so uncomfortable sitting in their like garbage bags and like duct tape outfits. Just do it after dinner.
And you know who wants to do these parties? Grant. That's who. Grant and his husband or boyfriend Todd. I
think it's
the
Todd.
naked ones. They're just the ones who want to be naked and walk around in G-strings all the time. That's who wants to wear it, because all they do is come out in a G-string. That's their anything but like a G-string in a pizza box. Love it. I'm ready. It's like, of course, everyone else put duct tape and shit into it, and you came out just with your ass. It's not fair.
Yeah. I also don't think the crew should have been obligated to do this either, because it's looked deeply annoying to serve them while wearing hefty bags.
We also say a lot about the sexual harassment on this show, from usually the deck crew to the stews, but let's not forget the guests to the crew. I really don't think it's cool to make service people give you lap dances and strip and make things out of duct tape.
Yeah.
Okay? There, I said it. After all these years, it's not fair.
Well, also, like, so Gary's outfit is that he has like a little traffic cone, like basically on his dick, so it looks like he has an erection. And so then the gays are like, so Daisy is like the cone relative to the truth, and she just like laughs because like, what's she supposed to say? And they're like, ha, look at her face, she knows. I'm like, I would be mortified to ever ask that of someone who's waiting on me, you know, like to be like, tell me about the size of his dick. Like, who does that?
Well, I think they know because they're characters on the show, you know, so they watch it. It's like you're on the boat being waited on by Diane and Sam from Cheers, but you know, it's them. I love that also Gary's dick is a liar, like Pinocchio. It's like his traffic cone. Doing.
Yeah.
Lucy cleans her room and hates it because it's fucking disgusting. These people are all pigs. And Lucy's like, I'm sick of this shit this morning. Fucking hell, man. How much you want to test me, man? How much you want to test me? She calls her dad. He's on a bike coming down a mountain on roller skates, with roller skates on and a bike.
He's like, what now, Lucy? I know, let me guess, you don't like your job, Lucy. I'm trying to skate down Snowdonia, Lucy.
So what did they find in the room? Because Lucy calls Daisy in, and Daisy's like, what is it? And she's like, condoms. And they start laughing. They weren't used condoms, were they?
I hope not, because you didn't have gloves. First of all, if I'm cleaning that room, it's auto gloves. Auto latex gloves. I'm not waiting for puke in the sink. Everything is a latex glove in that room. And she's, with her bare hands, become something. She's, oh, it's condoms. It had to have been, like, if there were used condoms and she was picking them up with her fingers and then she says, oh, condoms, almost like, oh, never mind, then that's pretty intense.
Yeah. So the guests request a game. So the game is that Gary lays down with the traffic cone on his wiener and they throw plastic hangers on it. Yeah. And I don't know.
This is why you bring a Nintendo on board. This is where you get your games from. Or Catan.
So then, everybody's like, well, back in the old days, we didn't just watch TV and stay on our iPhone all day and play video games. We talked to each other. No, you didn't. You did shit like this.
Yeah,
you had old, washed up, loser, drunk, male hookers laying down with traffic cones, throwing hangers at him. Okay, that's what you did in the old days. Don't pretend you were all like reading fucking Bronte.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? There was a lot of hoop action in the old days. Like there was a hula hoop. Okay, guess what?
Hoop dress.
Hoop, you get a hoop dress. What about like the 1840s when there was like the hoop with a stick? You know, you sort of have that stick and you're like running with that hoop. Okay.
They had the hooping cough.
Hooping cough. Hoop, there it is. They would sing that song.
Sometimes
in the old days, sometimes you just sit down and watch, just like put in that VHS and watch Hoop Dreams. Great documentary. But the point is,
Gary,
you know what? iPhone, by the way, the point is this. Honestly, iPhone is an improvement. Video games are an improvement.
Yeah. So Grant is sleeping. He wants to sleep outside. So he's like, let's sleep outside, honey. So, of course, they do. They get naked and sleep out. These are the ones who wanted to fuck in front of the captain, by the way. Okay, so they're going to sleep outside naked.
Yeah.
And then Gary and Colin are talking, and they're in bed, and Gary's like, oh, it's the last time I get to sleep with my sea dog. Oh, what a roller coaster. So what's going to happen with you and Daisy?
What you mean, Gary? He's like, well, it's either going to be you and her together, or it's going to end very badly. Don't let a good friendship dog die due to something that she does. Blah, blah, blah. And Colin says, after everything that's happened with Gary and I, the lies and the flirting and the manipulating, our friendship is the one that's in jeopardy. Nothing he says is affecting how I feel about Daisy.
Anyway, let's have a good last night, Bruce. Sleep on it. I'll miss you until this morning, my friend. So then Grant's like, I'm gonna pee off the edge real quick. And Todd's like, I want to pee too. So we see
Sword
them. Yeah, sword fight. So we see them walk naked through the boat to pee off the side. And then we get to hear the sound of them peeing off the side.
Yeah.
So.
And then we get to hear the sound of a beautiful tropical fish who's like, finally, I've made it to Sardinia, the most glamorous part of the entire sea. Oh my God, I'm being peed on. I never should have left Newark.
I'm going on Ocean Yelp. I'm so pissed off. Tried Sardinia, got pissed on. So.
I'm not pissed off. I'm pissed on. Okay. I'm giving Sardinia a 1-star on Yelp. Fish Yelp.
I want a refund.
I like every time when we do these sort of things, we make them so gay.
Well, it's just our inner voice, you know?
I swam all the way to Sardinia. Okay. And guess what? I read about it on The Infatuation. It was not worth it. 1 star. I got peed on.
That's like literally my inner voice all day. This is my outer voice. Obviously, you hear it. But in my mind, this is my outer voice. Oh, hey. It's like Carl from Summer House. I'm like, hey, everybody. It's just me. Just coming to the Home Goods, looking for some pillows. Always use some new pillows. Am I right?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I sound just like my inside voice. I'm like, oh my God, Home Goods. Hi, it's me. I love pillows.
5 stars. I would much rather go to Home Goods of Austin than shitty peed on waters of Sardinia.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
New beginnings are in season on the Max original series, and just like that.
From executive producer Michael Patrick King, alongside stars and executive producers Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis, the exciting next chapter of Sex and the City follows Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte as they navigate the complicated reality of life, love, and friendship in their 50s.
Alongside Naya, Che, Seema, and LTW, this vibrant group of friends experiences the ups and downs of life, knowing they can always count on each other.
Watch the brand new 11-episode season of And Just Like That, streaming only on Max.
And listen to the official podcast hosted by executive producer, writer, and director Michael Patrick King after every episode.
Find And Just Like That, The Writer's Room, wherever you get your podcasts.
HomeAglow is a marketplace that connects homeowners and renters with house cleaners.
You can get your home clean for $19, okay?
Highly discounted initial cleaning. They really want to prove themselves to you, and they did for me. There's discounted recurring cleanings with Forever Clean membership.
Yeah, just save time by hiring a professional to clean. Don't do it yourself. Okay, you get high-quality cleaning professionals. This is wonderful. We've used them. Our houses came out sparkling clean. It was wonderful. Visit www.homeaglow.com/podcast to book your first cleaning for only $19. That's HOMEAGLOW.com/podcast.
So it's the last day of charter, and they wake up. The nudies wake up naked on deck, and Colin and Daisy are kissing and hugging. And Chase is joking that he wants to see Alex finally make some moves tonight on Mads, which I can't believe that that's still a thing. I mean, I kind of agree with Chase from last week. Like, Gary kind of ruins it for me.
Yeah. So Alex tells us, yeah, well, Gary's not going to be my boss in a couple hours. So to me, that's fair game. And so meanwhile, Gary is like kissing on Mads, and she's like, and she tells us, this roller coaster ride is not what I want to ride anymore, so I'm trying to avoid him like the plague. I'm like, well, unfortunately, I think he may have given you the plague by now.
Yeah, you could very well have the plague.
Yeah,
So,
he is the plague.
good luck avoiding that. You are literally not avoiding plagues. Okay, you are hooking up with plagues
Like
once a week. at this
Frogs falling from the sky are like trying not to land on Gary. The plague is avoiding Gary like the plague.
I do like that Mads has like the stereotypical dude on this show attitude, though. Like, but I had to fuck somebody.
Yeah.
So, like, what was I supposed to do?
Yeah. But I had
He's the
to.
only one that made himself available. Like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. So Alex is thanking Gary for his patience in teaching, and Gary's like, yeah, okay. And Alex is like,
Yeah,
oh, what
he
a
just
guy.
ignores him and leaves. Yeah, he's like, he goes, what a guy. Gary hates his guts. You know,
Yeah.
he's done the worst thing to Gary that you could ever do, which is make Gary feel as homely as he's kidding. So Mads finds spilled wine on the sheets because, of course, these fucking
People are monsters.
So then, then for breakfast, they get melon prosciutto and carrot cake and poached eggs with avocado and caviar. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. It's like cleaning out the pantry day for Alicia. That's what she's doing. Colin's like, well, the chef last year did a eggs Benedict for the final day, not to make you nervous.
She's like, I'm good to you. So then Gary and Mads are in the laundry, and Gary's like, so how are you feeling about us on the final day of the season? And she's like, what do you mean?
Well, how do you feel about us? Us, final day. She's, what do you mean, though? He goes, I don't know. I just want to know where we stand. She's like, what do you mean how we stand? Okay, well, I guess we're playing the what do you mean game. So, seriously, I just want to know, like, if I should stand back or, like, should I keep trying with you? Is this going anywhere? Because I've actually got feelings for you, like, mainly aroused feelings. My other boner. Yeah, I know. He just is he is the one he's the prototypical person guy who wants he's in it for the conquest.
Yes. And she's like, I just thought we were having fun. And he's like, oh, all right, then that's fine. So he gets all mad and he leaves, and she's like, whoa. And then Gary is like, well, I would like it if you would tell me this after the first time I hooked up with you, maybe. And the producer goes, what if I told you that she did tell you that? He goes, what did she say? That it's just fun and just sex. And he's like, what? When? And then they show Matt saying that like 10 times.
It's like literally the whole rest of the episode is this montage of her being, this is just for fun. This is nothing serious. I don't want anything out of it. It's like, okay, and now there's 2 minutes left of the regular show.
Yeah. So then the captain's like, oh, the wind is going. Let's sail for 5 minutes. And she's like, but we've barely cleared. And he goes, how much time do you need? I'm sorry, did I hear you say 2 minutes? Let's do this.
She goes, I'll try. So then Mads comes down to the galley and goes, who the fuck said 2 minutes? And Daisy goes, I can't.
Don't you, and this is going to be controversial, don't you think this boat is a cheater boat? This is a cheater sailboat. And I'm there. I said it. This is a bullshit Disneyland sailboat. It's not a real sailboat. This is bullshit that they only sail maybe 2 minutes every other charter. It's bullshit. They're like, oh, we're going to sail for 5 minutes and we're going to bring the sails down. No, I paid to be on a sailing yacht. This is just a smaller, shittier motorboat, okay?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's edited down, but I do get the sense it's like 10 minutes. And it's like, really? That's all you can do for the sailing? That's all you can do. Yeah.
That's all they're going to do.
Well, you know what, though? They're just lucky that they're on that boat and it has not sank. Because honestly, let's not forget that the engine literally does not work. So, and also, by the way, I think that Daisy should not have cleared the breakfast, and Glenn should have tilted that boat and let all those dishes slide on to Randy, or whatever his name is. Randy? Just
Randy,
let it all just like pile up on his lap.
So the captain tells us, Percival had a rough summer. She put us through hell, but we made it through. And now we're going to finish on a high note doing exactly what she does best. Had a girl, she's really shining, that one. So then we get the shots of everything opening and closing, and Lucy and Mads are sliding down the floor, cracking up.
Yeah. And now Mads is talking to Lucy, and she's like, I think tonight's going to be drama. Gary's like, I've caught feelings. And I'm like, we're having fun. And Lucy's like, but you rejected him. And Mads is like, yeah, well, when we get drunk and have sex, like, what do you want? Well, because you've not fallen for him, which is what he's used to. That's why he's chasing you. He doesn't actually like you. He likes Daisy. And Mads is like, I think he's more crazy than I am, huh?
No, she says, I think he's more into Daisy than me.
Oh.
And Lucy goes, oh, she's finally got it. I think she's the girl for telling him the truth. It's the admiral thing to do.
Admirable.
Admirable. That's what I wrote. Admirable.
Oh, baby Lou. Bubbly.
So much sexual tension. She's like, between who? Between you, Mads. What the fuck do you think you're sitting there having a conversation about?
Between the
and she's
seagulls
like,
on
between
deck.
you and Alex. Yeah. And Lucy goes, tell me you don't want to fucking neck him. She goes, I do want to neck him. She goes, I fucking knew it. Or maybe because they're literally walking around telling everybody or saying right in front of everybody, I wish I was fucking you. Yeah, me too, but you made your choice, stupid. Hey!
All season. So now the gays are packing, the anchors are going down, we're docking and everything. And Todd, the primary, turns to David. He's like, oh, hey, David. Sorry, I didn't even realize you're on this boat. No one's talked to you for 3 days. So did you have a good time? And he's like, yeah. I mean, I do it differently. Different people, which I love. I love that kind of, that's my kind of Yelp review. Like, let the negative space do all the talking.
And then they cut to the thruple, and they're standing like in a
With, like,
line at the
cigarettes.
bar. Just like two of them are chain smoking on the side, being like,
Yeah, we're badass.
yeah, it's
Just like
they're
trash
people.
thruple.
Yes.
So congrats to the little one, Brad, for funding this trio of terribleness. And now they line up for the big goodbyes and everything. And Grant's like, okay, one last look at Chase and Alex's butt.
And Todd's like, oh my God, everything was out of this world. I hope that you feel the love in this envelope. And so they honk, and wow, it's crazy. It's hard not to spoil this, what happens in the future. But I won't tell you what was in that envelope for a minute. So then Gary's like, Chase. Oh, so Chase makes a joke. He's like, bye everybody. And then he like falls over on the ground like he's just so exhausted. And Gary's like, Chase, get up, bro. What you doing? It's the end of the season, dude. The guests are right there. Have some decency. Oh, professional Gary. Look at professional fucking, what do you call those things, the little pieces of paper that you dip into something to tell if it's infected or not?
Like a litmus test.
Yeah, look at little litmus test penis Gary talking about what's professional and what's not professional.
I know. All of a sudden, he is the authority on proper behavior and common decency. So Glenn is like, there were times at the beginning where I just thought we wouldn't even get to this point, mainly because our ship has an engine that doesn't work and catches on fire every 3 days. I literally thought we'd just all be dead in the middle of the water. But anyway, we made it here. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, I can't believe, like, this is the funniest thing to me, that they never even tried to fix the boat.
No.
They were just like,
It was like
the engine needs to be rebuilt. We're gonna crash at sea. And they're like, tape it together. Let's just make it through the season.
Like,
what?
could you at least put in your order on Charter 1 so that way by Charter 4 you have the new engine? Like, what's going on here? So now they're cleaning. It's like all this cleaning. Gary's cranky. He's cranky, and he says something that I didn't even bother writing down, but he's like annoyed at Chase and Alex. And Chase is like, fuck that guy. Like, we do one thing, and he's like, get the fuck off my boat. Like, can't wait to get out of here. Oh, fuck that guy. And Alex is like, yeah, that guy sucks.
And he's like, well, I want to have a good night tonight, but I do not want to punch this guy in the face. And Alex is like, yeah, that probably wouldn't be the way to go, bruh. So it's time for tip meeting now. And the captain gives his speech. He's like, okay, well, from thinking we'd never get off the dock to engine troubles, I'm proud of us. Daisy, this season had its challenges, but you always managed to lead a team of new stews that turned out stronger from working with you. And she's like, well, all season I've taken a lot of criticism, and whether it was constructive or not, it wasn't easy for me. Daisy, fucking... Seriously, you got the least amount of criticism that has ever been given on Below Deck from the shit that you pulled this season. Okay,
and you left a man
Anybody
bleeding
else
for
would have
15
ripped
minutes. And you left a man bleeding for 15 minutes. Okay, enough. So then Glenn says, "It's like, and Alicia, it took some time to find your bearings, but every charter you got better and better, almost as good as the guy from last season, who was honestly pretty amazing right out the gate." So. No,
that guy
pressure.
got this speech when he had a bleeding head and a concussion and still made an 11-course meal perfectly.
But, the way you made those hot dogs was great, Alicia. So,
Alicia, you're not only a great chef, you're also a great spotlight on what a brilliant chef Marco is. So thanks for that.
So Glenn's like, and now finally the moment you guys have been waiting for. This charter tip is $17,000. Now, Ronnie, didn't the last charter give them $30,000?
Yes. So this charter was not shorter, right? This was a full 3-day charter.
This is a full
wasn't it?
3-day charter with like several people, and they were all
I think
disasters.
the gays didn't. I think the throuple was like, no. Well, we know the poor guy in the thruple's not tipping anything, and we know Randy's not tipping anything because apparently he's living off Brad too. So maybe Brad gave
Deborah's not
one
gonna
part.
tip.
Deborah ain't tipping shit
Because Todd's going to
So-
say, I'll cover her. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was probably just Brad giving a little tiny bit, and then you've got Todd and Grant and maybe David giving something.
Yeah.
So that's 4. So let's say 4 into 17. What's
They
that?
each-
4 into 70.
They
4?
each give like just under $6,000.
Someone gave 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they all give 5, and then Todd puts in like 2 for Deborah, his mom. That's what I agree. I think that Randy and Nick put in 0.
Yeah, they suck.
They really suck.
So Lucy's like, 17 grand to flush your shit over and over. You can fuck off.
Yeah. I have not read anything on the internet today about the hate these guys are getting, but that's going to be actually something I'm going to do right after this as well, before we do our bonus episode, because I really need to see, I want to see what they post on Instagram, like, guys, the version you saw of me was just heavily edited, and of course I loved Captain Glenn, and it was all taken out of context, because there's some bullshit like that on their social media.
Oh yeah, always, every time. But did we even mention this, that there was a towel? They showed a close-up of a towel literally with poop on it, that they wiped their butts with the towel and threw it on the ground. I mean, just fucking monster human beings.
Yeah, just trash.
So they're going to go out tonight for their last big whoop whoop, and they're getting ready to go out. Chase is bringing all the girls shots, and then he brings one to Alex while Alex is pooping, because, the show's got to keep it classy.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
Listen, it's never too late to get some pink eye. And then Lucy is like, by the way, I only found out later in life that one of the primary ways you get pink eye is from poop on your fingers into your eyes. Did you know that?
I sure did.
Yeah, that's why people should wash their hands. One of many reasons, by the way.
Yeah, and use toilet paper, So then Colin's
Use toilet
like,
paper. Yeah, that's good, too.
Colin and Daisy are in the laundry and, kissing and flirting, whatever. And they're all, I still don't buy Colin and Daisy. I don't buy 1 second of Colin and Daisy. So they gather to leave, and Mads is asking Alex to tie her dress. And he's like, you want a bow, or do you want something fancy? You want me to stitch this shit? What? Is it tight enough for you? Because I could do it again. I could do this all night long. I was like, wow.
Good.
Tying,
I love that game.
flirting.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
It's next level.
Those video tutorials you're listening to about the Kama Sutra are really,
They're working out.
great class. Yeah.
So, and then Lucy's asking Daisy about her relationship with Colin, and, Daisy's saying, she's like, oh, I really like him, and I'm happy, and he's very insecure about our relationship, which I don't hold against him, but I think we definitely want to see each other. So, yeah, I would not say that was a full-throated endorsement of the relationship, but I still really like them together, personally.
Yeah, I don't at all. I think they're lying. I think they're lying, and I think they're bored, and they know that they need storylines, so they're like, let's just
think
I don't know. You're here. You know, it's
I
like
think
how
that could be. I think that there could be some truth to the fact that they're both kind of like bored and on a boat, and so it's what's available. And in the real world, it wouldn't have happened. But I don't think they're doing it for a storyline, though.
yeah. I don't. You know what? I like literally realized how much I don't care. Okay, so then the guys' van. The guys are in their own van, and Chase is like, Madison was ruthless the other day. Gary's like, yeah, when she said she wanted a proper upgrade, she'd go to Alex. That was ruthless, bro. And Colin and Alex are in the backseat just cracking up. What a loser Gary is.
Yeah. And then they all arrive at this nice restaurant. They're taking photos together and having cocktails. And Glenn's like, okay, everyone, I am here. So this is kind of like my little tradition. I want to hear what you felt was your personal high and low from this season. So Alex is like, my high from the season was when we went to Bonifacio. Like, yeah, cool. And then Colin's like, my lowest of lows was when the engine kept failing. And when I found out that the girl I'm into has slept with Gary, God, that's a low. That's worse than a broken engine. That could have killed us all.
I know the engine was the worst to him. It wasn't even a Gary thing. And Daisy's like, well, my high was... And Gary goes, her high was Colin, her low is Gary. Am I right?
Might be. She's like, well, no, my high was our team and having such a great relationship. It just makes my job so much more pleasant. And my low was Glenn on my back. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm crying.
And then we see clips of him supposedly being evil, and he's like, get ice for the guy who's bleeding. Oh, no. He was like, get ice. Yeah, get ice for the boat, because no one knew where the ice was. And then when he said, don't work harder, work smarter. And Tim cut himself. He's bleeding from his head. She's like, how could ya? How could ya? It's like Daisy working for 911. She'd be like, hello, you have an emergency? I can't believe a lady's yelling at me because her husband's on the ground. What am I supposed to do about it?
It's like it's like she gets into the wrong line somewhere. How could you tell me I'm in the wrong line? How could you do this to me? So anyway, then Glenn's like, oh, well, I feel terrible that my criticism hurt Daisy so much. I want to have a good working relationship with her, but I also want her to be open to suggestion and ideas because the interior is front-facing the guests, so it has to be top-notch. I don't know why I wrote any of that down. It really is not interesting at all. So,
well, this is the last episode of Below Deck, and this is always the trouble with the last episode of Below Deck. Always the season finale is like, okay, well, everything's pretty much done. I guess we'll have some drinks. Hey, anybody want an appetizer? Hey, remember that time that Gary fucked those people? Okay, well, let's take another 45 minutes to say goodbye. Okay, who wants to go first?
Truly. So Glenn leaves, and Gary's sitting with Chase sort of in a garden spot, and he's basically being like, oh, well, I gave you some trouble earlier today. Sorry about that, but, you've been copying a lot of shit this whole season, bro, and, the thing that I like about you is that you come in at 100 miles per hour, and, I've never worked with a deckhand like you, honestly. Really, I haven't. What I'm trying to say is I'm experimenting with my sexuality, and I would love to add another conquest to my record book, so if you wouldn't mind, should we go to the back corner there?
And Chase is like, there's 100 things that I want to say about him, about his leadership, about some of the shit things he's done, but I think it's better not to burn any bridges.
Any burn any bridges. So Chase, then they sit at the table at this nice restaurant, and of course the waiters come over with some food, and Chase is like, wow, look at that food.
This is my kind of meal, dog. What, did you take things from the field and put some flame to them? Yeehaw! Restaurante!
I'm like, I'm not American. Please don't pass judgment on me.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Introducing the new Audible original Breakthrough.
The genre-redefining audio-only series that strips away the superficial to reaffirm what matters most, pure talent.
Featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland, Sarah Bareilles, and host David Diggs.
Hear every step of the musical journey as 5 undiscovered musicians battle through a series of high-stakes singing and songwriting challenges for one top spot.
As musically gifted as they are artistically unique, each finalist is driven by the same dream, to become music's next must-listen.
But to break through, they'll have to dig deep, pushing their vocal, songwriting, and recording chops to their absolute limits while keeping their feet and emotions firmly grounded.
So, who will break through? It's time to find out.
Join Kelly, Sarah, and David on a musical journey unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is Breakthrough.
Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to audible.com/breakthrough.
Follow along using hashtag BreakthroughXAudible.
So now Mads and Alex are flirting at the end of the table, and Gary's like, "Oh, I'm so heartbroken, blah blah blah," and he tells us, "I haven't had to deal with rejection all too often because Gary doesn't get rejected, but it's the story of my life this season, blah blah, tears of blah blah."
So he goes to the bathroom all mad because Alex and Mads are like, "You're hot. No, you're hot. No, you're hotter. No, you're hot." So Alex takes Mads' hand to leave, and Gary's like stumbling out of the bathroom. And Chase is just still like, "Sue, wait, what is this, a box on wheels? This is amazing." Like, it's the van, Chase. Chase, get in the van.
Yeah, they're in the vans, and Mads and Alex are in the backseat of one van, and Colin's like, "Hey, where's Gary?" And it cuts to Gary. Gary's in the back of the other van. He's just like alone with like 9 bottles of beer in the seat next to him, which really felt like a poetic image.
Yep. So Alex and Mads are in the back seat. Like, he's like, "I like you, and listen, I think you could do better, and like, I think you deserve better." And she's like, "Well, I mean, I do get along with you in a different way than I get along with Gary, I guess." And then it cuts to Gary like talking to himself in the car and just sleeping. He is so miserable, and it's amazing.
It's deeply satisfying.
It really is.
So Alex is like, "Yeah, I like you." I'm sorry, Alex. Alex is like, "I like you" and everything. So they finally make out. They like have a proper make out, and then like they're like very happy afterwards. It's cute. I was like happy. I was happy for Alex. I was like, "Yeah, you stick it to Gary. You know like you even though it's like very like old fashioned to be like, yeah, you won over the girl because it takes any agency of the girl out of it." I still was happy because I knew it would piss off Gary so much.
So then back to the boat, everybody's wasted. Gary's like alone in a corner, literally just blah, 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 blah. And then Lucy's peeing, and Matt's is like, "Now what do I do? I have to tell Gary, right? Because me and Alex made out." And
Like,
Alicia's
by the way,
like, "Well,
the answer
how
is
do you
no.
feel about it then?"
You don't have to tell
Yeah,
Gary.
you don't have to tell him. It's so dramatic. Like, she's got a little streak of Gary in her, you know?
She does.
I think we concentrate on Gary so much because Gary's an asshole, and we're used to him being an asshole, and it's fun to watch him get his comeuppance. But Matt has some stuff too, where she's just wanting to be a drama queen and, you know, like have people fight over her and all this shit. So she's kind of pulling this right now, where she's like, "I need to tell Gary." Like, no, you don't. It's
You
your last
literally
night
don't
there,
have to.
and you're not dating anybody. So just want
Yeah.
the drama. But I
So-
would love for you to tell him. Can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "What am I going to say? I mean, if someone tells him before I do, I'm fucked." I'm like, "What are you fucked about? What happens? Do you get fired? No. Does your workplace become more toxic? No, you don't. You're going home tomorrow. So what's the problem?"
Do you get written up? Like, what is the guy who's higher in the hierarchy gonna complain that the employee that he was banging is banging somebody else too? Like, it's you're fine. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, you don't have to at all. So now there's like a lot of stuff happening on the boat, you know, because everyone's like talking about it, and Alex is talking about how Mads deserves better, yada yada yada. And so Mads finally just goes to Gary's room, and she's like, "Can I talk
Gary's
to you?"
doing the thing. Gary's doing the typical Gary move where Gary's upset, so he goes to his bed to sulk
Yes.
and wait for somebody to drag him out of his bed. He's done it every single season, multiple times.
Yes.
So you know he's doing this because he goes to bed fully clothed so that he can be dragged out of bed again. To come out.
Exactly. He's like not even like getting into his Gary pajamas, which are basically just little boxers. So Matt's like, "Can I talk to you?" She's like, "No, stay down there. What do you want to say? Like, tell me how you feel." She goes, so in the cab, me and Alex, we made out, and like I didn't want you to hear from someone else." He's like, "Oh, get the fuck out of my room. Done. Blah blah blah."
She's like, are you serious right now? It's like, 100. Get the fuck out and kill. Thank you. And she's like, why can't we talk about it? And he's like, well, I've asked you if you had a thing for him, and now you hook up with him. Which is literally your whole plot line for the season is Colin asking you if you had a thing for Daisy.
Yes.
And you saying no. And then, I mean, this guy is the worst.
And you
Matt's
forced,
like,
and by the way, and Gary, you like forced yourself onto Daisy multiple times this season trying to make out with her.
yeah. So Matt is like, can we seriously not talk for 2 seconds? He's like, no, get out. You played me like a fiddle.
So ridiculous. So he's like, why would you hook up with him if you didn't mean it? Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't ever want to see you again in my life. So Maz is like, well, Gary's reaction is exactly why I didn't break things off with him in the middle of the season. Which, by the way, she's like saying it like, ugh, like this is why I didn't break up with him. But I'm like, this is also why we don't accept sexual harassment in the workplace, because like you wind up in a situation where you're afraid of consequences from a superior if you were to break it off or to rebuff it.
And she's like, I don't even know if Gary fucking cares or if he's more upset that he looks like a fool. Because, like, ultimately, Gary's, like, not serious about anybody but Daisy. And Gary is in his underwear now. So now we know he's really mad.
Now,
and he's
yeah.
staying in
Now
on the
it's-
last night, which
it's
is
a true
such a great
bedtime.
ending for Gary.
Yeah, exactly. So then Chase is dancing upstairs. So I can also understand if he just doesn't want to be around Chase drunk upstairs on the deck. And Alicia's like, I love how authentic Chase is. He's big and goofy and says the wrong thing. I think he has amazing attributes. Maybe if I didn't have a boyfriend, you never know. Ho, 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 ho.
And then Chase is doing like some dirty dancing, weird, like so awkward, you know. And Lucy's like, oh my God, these people are fucking mental. And so everybody starts going to bed, and Alicia and Chase have one nice last flirt where she's like, I'm ready for bed. And he's like, so you're going to go to your bed, not my bed. No matter how bad you want to go to my bed, you're going to go to your bed. Sweet. Right?
Yeah, they really tried to
She's
make
like,
this.
Can we just hug? Can we just hug? You're such a good friend. It's like, yeah, you guys are.
They tried really hard to make this into a storyline. They even on this episode put in the previously Alicia and Chase were hugging, as if there was going to be some sort of consequential or interesting twist in this storyline. But it's just that she just views him as a friend and always has, and nothing has changed.
Yeah. So then Colin and Daisy are in the master, and he's like, tell me what you're thinking. She's like, what we have is amazing. I love coming to talk to you. I love when you're affectionate with me. I love listening to the engine hum on just spit vinegar and duct tape. It's so hot.
But what are we doing? Where are we going? She's like, to sleep. Why ask me all these questions, pansy boy? So now it's morning, because Colin's clearly getting needy, right? And Daisy doesn't want to commit to anything, which is not a great sign. And also, yeah, just not a great sign. So it's morning now, and everyone's waking up, and Colin's wrapped in the sheets from the master bedroom again. Does he have a thing where, like, once he gets out of his underwear, he doesn't want to get back into it? Like, why is it that if he goes into the master bedroom in his underwear and he gets out of it and, like, has sex with Daisy or something, why does he have to wrap himself up in all the sheets afterwards? Why doesn't he put the underwear back on? And aren't the sheets, in fact, potentially more dirty than the underwear he wore into the master bedroom?
Well, do we ever see him in the underwear?
I assume.
Because maybe he's wearing underwear and he's just like covering his body. Because he's always saying things like, I have a dead bod. No one wants to see that. So he might just be insecure or something.
Maybe he's
Which
like,
to me, I don't get. But
maybe he's
I mean,
secretly
I do
pretending
get it.
he's in couture. Maybe he's secretly like, people don't realize this. They think I'm being humble, but I'm pretending I'm on a runway right now.
He's like, I draped this. This was a one-day challenge. I not only fixed boats, I just won Project Runway All-Stars.
Call me Ronnie.
I mean,
So
it's like, I love the draping. I love the stitching. I love the sheets over your shoulder.
this to me was very modern. So
By the way, go to my TikTok and watch my little Project Runway 30-second recap, because it's
Was
just
that-
Nina going, I love the stitching. I love the collars. I love the buttons.
was that the one where you put yourself into a beard?
Yeah, at the very end. I just wanted a filter to be Heidi. but I just made her like an old, the street man.
So Colin goes back to his room, and then Mads goes up to Garrett. She goes, "What's up? Do you hate me?" And he doesn't answer. So she goes, "Good chat," which she actually does a lot. I noticed that she says that all the time. Huh? Good chat.
Yeah, that's her. I'm just young boomer. Like, I'm surprised she hasn't called him a boomer yet. Because she says that whenever somebody like takes her parking space. She's like, "Whatever, boomer." So Colin and Chase are talking, and Chase is talking about how he has a layover in Frankfurt before going straight back to Charleston, which I thought was funny. Do they have direct flights to Charleston from Frankfurt?
Oh yeah, that is kind of funny. I think it's funny.
I guess he means he has like a day layover or something, like he's going to hang out in Frankfurt or something. But my first thought was a layover and then straight to Charleston, huh? So then he looks at Alex's book and he's like, "Alex, you're reading a book called The Multi-Orgasmic Man and Woman?" And Alex is like, "Yeah, it's a good read. You should read what you're interested about."
Yeah. So Chase goes, by the way, Chase also, have you noticed, like, for some reason this episode, his voice seemed to be much higher. He's like, "This season was a little rough. I mean, I wasn't the most tactful. I said some dumb shit, but I learned about myself, and I learned that I'm an acquired taste. But I'm less of an acquired taste when I wear a Speedo and I have a boner that's going around the side of it. People really like it then."
Yeah, he did this thing where he just got increasingly more and more like, "Gee, shucks," like every Southern Charm guy. I think that's like a Charleston thing that guys learn there, where they're like, if you ever doubt yourself, just become more of a little boy. And so by the end, he's just like, "Sure, Ma, I'll get the milk from the front step."
Wow, that's so nice that in Chase's alternate reality, he's still getting milk deliveries.
Yeah, it's just like the 50s, They're
Yeah.
like those guys from like
Officer Krupski.
yeah.
Yeah. So he leaves, and Gary's like, "What a hard worker, Jesus. Glad I treated him like shit all season." So then Mads is like, "So, how did your night go, Alex? I went to bed after getting screamed at." And Alex is like, "What'd you get screamed at about? That doesn't seem fair." He goes, "Well, to be fair, I am the one who was having sex with him, huh?" He goes, "Oh, well, whatever you choose. I hope it was good for you. It's either Gary and his flirtations or me with my sparkling personality. Catch 22 for you."
And he's like, "Yeah, I really like her." And then Matt is like, "Yeah, well, Alex is flirty and fun, and he didn't really make my life harder, so I guess we'll take it one day at a time." I was like, wow, you're just a romantic no matter who you're with. Like, this girl doesn't have an ounce of romance in her. It's just like,
pure functionality.
"Well, he didn't." She's just like, "He didn't make my life harder, so he hasn't peed on a seat yet, so I'll marry him."
She really is approaching these relationships like she's a writer for Wirecutter. "Well, the first boyfriend we tested was under rigorous conditions. We found that while he was very flirty, he was a bit needy. The second one we looked at, his personality wasn't great, but for the price, we really approved. So that is the Wirecutter choice for relationships. Alex."
So then Gary and Colin. Gary's like, "Why did it have to happen on the last night?" Like, he's so offended that he has been rejected on national television. And Colin is like, "Well, maybe they realized that it was also their last night together. Are you sure it's not your pride you're mistaking for liking her?" And Gary's like, "Well, I don't know, maybe."
So then Alex comes out and joins them. So Colin just like vanishes. And then we cut to Lucy like somehow dropping a million things in her closet. It's like, she's like, "Oh no." And then we come back and Gary's like, "I'm not going to lie, Alex. I wasn't very happy last night." And Alex is like, "Well, if it was something where like you guys were coming to me and saying that like you want to see what happens and you're serious about this, then I might not have done that." And he's like, "Yes, but like, so you think we hook up every night doesn't make a difference? I find that to be a very snakish move." Maybe, Gary, you might remember that in the beginning of the season, Alex and Mads were flirting and getting closer, and then you came in and you literally swooped in to cockblock Alex, and you started making moves on Madison instead. Talk about snakish.
you've also been trying to snake Daisy all season.
And that
so
too.
then Alex is like, well, I mean, I apologize if it like came off snaky because like I didn't need to be like that, but like I just needed to like get it out of my head. And Gary goes, whatever, Prue. And he goes, whatever that.
So then
So
Lucy,
that's how that one ends, very sadly. Men
Yeah,
who just
soups.
can't get along.
Soup's sad. And then Lucy leaves. She talks about how she really loved that they didn't fight once as an interior crew, which is true. It's pretty impressive. And she's like, it just shows that women can support women. And then like a cast iron pan falls on her head. Ah!
So then the captain's just wandering around whistling, and then we get Alicia's, oh my God, sometimes I doubt you're boring. Just go, Alicia. Just fucking go. I can't with you anymore. Great chef. Please never come back. So then we go to Colin and Daisy. They're hugging, and Daisy's like, have you parked? And then they just keep hugging, and he's like, it would be nice to spend some time off the boat together. And she's like, well, the reality is he's going back to his boat, and I'm going back to London. I want to see him.
Yeah, and he's like, I really like you, you know that? Like, I don't want to get hurt. I'm vulnerable. I don't know what's going to happen the next however long before we see each other again. I'm like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Daisy is going to find some fresh new dick in London, okay? So how many times does she have to say, well, I'll be in London, you'll be in your boat, wherever that boat is, and theoretically you could take your boat to see me, but you'll just keep it in whatever random country it's in at the moment. Okay, good seeing you. Don't let the door
I don't know.
hit you
I
on the way
still
out.
see her and Gary like just getting married. You know, I said it a long time ago, but I could just imagine Daisy hanging off like a fire escape, chain smoking, with her hair like she's just in a nightgown and her hair is kind of in a bun. She's got like a freshly popped zit on her face, just kind of screaming down into the alley. Get out of there, your dad's almost... Ah, there he is, limping down the street. What have you had, a couple tonight, have you? You know, just like screaming at
Yeah.
Gary as he comes home drunk. It's like the set of Oliver, you know,
I was
like
gonna say,
old-timey
it's-
London.
It's very much like a literary play right there. Like it's very much a play of a family that's just getting by, and the dad is gambling everything away at the races.
And the mom's just a mess, you know, like holding a bottle of half-drunk wine in her hand and, you know, maybe a hairnet on or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can see those two ending up together and just making each other miserable for all of eternity.
So,
Hugs.
so Daisy's like, so what do you want, Colin? And Colin's like, I want to obviously keep in contact. I want us to be open and honest with each other. I want to start wearing fedoras and start dating Mauricio. Okay? Whatever we feel, wherever it goes. But I want you to know that all the feelings I have are real. And I'm going to miss you a lot. She's like, I'm sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't paying attention. I was doing Wordle.
I know I don't really seem like the top, but I am. So, Colin, this is where, you know, Colin's been kind of irking me all season. I haven't really been able to pinpoint it. I still really can't, but I will say he used a Kyle Richards quote here.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much cemented it for me. Open and honest. Fuck
know. I-
off.
I-
Okay.
I hope for
Wear
better
a
for
fedora
Colin.
next time you say that, please.
So they kiss, and Colin's like, I think Daisy and I have realized we have a genuine connection here, you know? And, you know, Daisy, you got to come over to Parlay. Is that the name of his boat, Parlay?
Yeah. And he has a big YouTube show about it where it's like all his crew and stuff. And so
Oh.
we can go watch a YouTube. Yeah, it's really popular. And people are like, Ronnie, you're totally reading Colin wrong. And you would know more if you watched his YouTube show about parlay. No, I'm not watching your fucking YouTube show on top of this. Okay. I'm not doing background checks on Below Deck cast members. Okay. I judge what I see here.
Parlay Revival. I'm looking at it right now. Parlay Revival. Sailing Parlay Revival. Is that the name of his show? It is. He has 265,000 subscribers.
Yeah. People love that shit. Everybody
People
says
love-
it's really good. I think that's one of those things that one day I'll watch. Because I did get obsessed for a while with the water and sailing. And I was like, I'm going to live on a boat. And I don't know. I had that moment. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos of people just out in the middle of the ocean on like, they cross the ocean on a jet ski. You know, people like that.
Wow. Well, Colin, he just put up a new episode for 2 days ago. It already has 108,000 views. And this is what the name of the
crazy.
episode is. Devastating news. Our Pacific crossing may be... ... I have to click this. May be canceled. And then the thumbnail says, all of our rigging needs to be replaced. So
Oh my God, he's not having a lot of luck this year.
it's a lot of drama. A lot of drama
So-
on that one.
Yeah, so go watch that, everybody. After I give Colin all this shit all year, go watch it. So Alex says bye to the captain, and he has no regrets, brah. And so he's like, peacing out, Girl Scout. It's like, oh, you would have been so much grosser on any other season of the show. But bye, stay hot.
I really loved
Love
that. So now Daisy's asking Gary when he's leaving, and he's like, "What do you mean? I work on the boat. Last night was a shit show." And she's like, "Oh well, come into my office. Let's talk about it." So Daisy says that Madison and Alex hooking up was weird, which I don't think there was nothing weird about it. I think it was like long time coming. And then Madison interrupts them while they're talking to be like, "I'm gonna go, bye," and she apologizes to Gary for hurting him. She's like, "I thought we were truly having fun, and I'm sorry that it happened the way it did." I'm like, Madison, you do not need to apologize to Gary. Of all people, you just say, "Sorry, sucker, bye." So I guess you could do sarcastic sorry.
And he's like, I was fucking broken last night. Oh my God, you were broken before you even got here. You're a broken person. You're
Yeah.
a broken, leathery, charred person. Okay? You're a person who's been left in a convection oven for too long. Go away. Be broken somewhere else for a while.
Yeah. In the past, I've said to a girl that it's just a seasonal hookup, no hard feelings. But being on the receiving end is not a nice feeling. I guess I can forgive her, but I feel like a fucking idiot. And she's like, he's basically like, I guess I'll get over it. So Mads leaves. She hugs people, and she realized, don't screw the crew.
So then Colin, Gary, and Daisy and the captain, like the main core, is sitting around together on the deck. And the captain's like, I thought the throuple left yesterday. And she's like, we're a fucked up throuple, aren't we?
Yeah. Sorry, I got myself a little choked up on that. No, I didn't, but I just like inhaled something into my throat. So you just keep talking because it looks like I'm getting very emotional about the scene, but it's quite the opposite. I have like inhaled a fly or
I'll get emotional. This season has challenged me professionally, personally, friends-wise. I need time away from Gary. There was a trust that was broken, and I need to reconsider this whole thing. So he leaves, and then Daisy is telling him, I wish I could come with ya. And Captain and Gary pretend they're looking at something else. They're like, oh, wow, look at that. Let's not watch people be romantic. Gross.
So Daisy's like, I understand why my relationship with Gary may confuse people. I'm not sure I understand it, but we'll always be friends. And I hope Gary gives us the room and respect we deserve to develop our relationship. He won't. He 100% won't.
Yeah, he won't. He won't even call you after this. What are you talking about? He'll call you when he comes to London, and then you'll go see him, and then you guys will hook up and fuck and promise not to tell anybody about it, and then we will found out about it a year later on this show, probably. When you're hooking up with somebody else. I mean, come on. You two, off your merry-go-round, you two. I'm off.
Yeah. So Gary's like, people want what they can't have, especially me. I'm like, I was going to say something about showers or toilet paper, but he can have all those things, which explains why he doesn't want them.
He just chooses not to. It's like, people want what they can't have. Alex's face. Alex's youth.
General charisma.
The ability to read. So Gary's like, yeah, I think I'll be single for a while. I'm going to reflect until little Gary gets me into trouble again. We'll see how that works out.
Doesn't it sound like that? I don't got nobody. Nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. He is kind of like David Lee Roth. I'm just a gigolo, and everywhere I go, people always say about me.
So then he starts cleaning up, and the captain is like, this is when we find out they've done literally nothing to fix this boat. The captain goes, you know what, I'm going to call for some engines. And he calls, he's like, hi, Caterpillar, do you guys have a complete engine rebuild kit?
They're like, we do. He goes, sweet, or whatever it is that he started saying. Yeah, baby. And
You didn't even order one when you found out that
I
you
know.
needed
Can you
one?
just get one to have on the dock so you're ready to go as soon as everyone leaves? How could you do this? And you just sent away your engineer, too. How are they even going to fix this thing?
So funny.
Oh, funny times. Fun times, everyone. Well, thank you all for being here for another great, fun season of Below Deck Sailing. Below Deck Down Under starts up next week with Captain Jason.
Lisa, possibly one of the most annoying voices ever done on this show, is coming back next week.
I'm excited. It was so good last season, so hopefully it'll be still good this season. And thanks, everyone, and we will catch you later this week with Real Housewives of Orange County and who knows what else.
Our Amazon bonus. Go check it out.
Yeah, Amazon bonus. It's going to be super fun. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey